Hey Virgo, here's your horoscope for the week of January 10th to January 16th. Certainly last week was very eventful in the USA, and perhaps I did allude to that by mentioning the squares going on between Mars, Saturn, etc. That does continue this week. Your sign, however, should be not so negatively affected by these tough squares going on in the sky because it isn't really affecting your sign as much. However, there is good news ahead. First of all, the Sun in Capricorn is pretty good for your sign. You already have a pretty good work ethic. Capricorn does as well. And when the Sun is in Capricorn and kindly aspecting the sign of Virgo, generally you feel a lot brighter, you feel more energetic, and you feel like rolling up your sleeves and getting down to work. Now, Venus is also in Capricorn, and Venus wants to have fun. But given that Venus is in Capricorn, which is a pretty work-oriented sign, it could be that you might be able to have more socialization with work friends, not necessarily in person if you're still working at home, but certainly there could be an increase of not only work meetings, but perhaps some socialization with friends throughout this week as well, off and on. With Mars moving into Taurus last week, that created a few issues in the world for some people. But again, for your sign, Taurus is very friendly to Virgo. So Mars moving into Taurus might be very helpful for you. It might give you a lot more energy and a lot more impetus to get digging into work or some other project you may be working on perhaps. And as well, Mars being in basically your ninth house of travel, philosophy, and things like that, you might be just inclined to just enjoy your evenings reading good books this week. With Mars, usually there is a desire for more activity. None of us can be that active in most parts of the world still today, so some of your energy may be feeling a bit stifled, which does make you a little more critical and a little bit more remote sometimes, we'll say, Virgo. So keep that in mind this week to come out of your shadows and enjoy the people in your life as well this week. You can be all work and no play sometimes, and this week might be one of those. With the planets in Aquarius, for your sign, that does again have Jupiter, Saturn in your sixth house of work and work environment. So work could be pretty busy, pretty crazy this week, no matter what work sector you may be working in. But as well, you may find that you're getting some ingenious ideas this week. The movement of Mercury into Aquarius, along with the Jupiter, Saturn already there, for Virgo, could actually give you some really, really great ideas this week, some wonderful insights, and in fact, you might even be very inventive, much more than usual this week, because you are a very inventive sign as it is. We do have the Sun conjuncting Pluto in Capricorn this week as well. For you and for other Earth signs, this is not a bad indication, really, that you might be beginning some new ventures, or whatever you're dealing with this week is probably going a little more your way. Things will probably feel a lot brighter this week compared to last week, and that's in spite of the tough squares that are still going on in the fixed signs this week. Uranus is making a station in Taurus on the 14th, and it will be positively aspecting Virgo. So that means the sudden and unexpected issues and delays, those should not be cropping up as much as they have been in the last year. You like to know what's happening tomorrow, next week, and whatever. You tend to plan, you tend to have expectations as to how things should go, and that has been completely thrown out of the window for much of 2020 because of Uranus going retrograde and a number of other things going on. But at least now, in this year of 2021, you should find, Virgo, that things will work out a lot better for you and less upheavals and sudden surprises. Give that another few weeks maybe before I will write that in stone, because there are still these aspects going on in fixed signs that are so up in the air and so challenging for a lot of people. But in general, this week ahead should be good for you, and I hope that it is, Virgo.